How's it going today, everybody? Eddie Kernan for Rexylab. Welcome to the Guitarmery. Well, it's after Thanksgiving, and that can only mean one thing. Christmas is around the corner, and as such, I'm doing a Die Hard. Now, what in the world can I possibly mean I'm doing a Die Hard? It's not like a bunch of terrorists are shooting at me, and I'm gonna run through broken glass with my bare feet. Well, no. But, just like John McClane, I'm gonna go up against some pretty ridiculous odds here. And as such, I want to explain to you exactly what in the world's going on with this weird Strat. So this is quite possibly the dumbest idea that I've ever had in my life, and I just had to roll with it because when I get an idea that's just so stupid, I got to see it through. I did something ridiculous here. The entire idea was that I fabricated a stoner burnout in the 70s, all up here in my head. He doesn't actually exist, who had 4 guitars that he really loved, but none of them were quite right, so he ripped all 4 of them apart to make one perfectly awesome ultimate guitar, that being this. Body and neck, Strat. Humbucking pickup here, Les Paul. P90 right here, that would be like a Junior, and then a lipstick, obviously a Dan Electro. But I didn't stop there with how idiotic I got things. You're gonna notice right away the Mondo CBS headstock, but I don't know if this will show in translation. Can you see how sharp the V is there? Yeah, I reshaped the back of this neck. The neck profile is like ridiculous. It had 22 frets, but you know what? In our timeline, a Strat would only have 21. So I actually pulled the fret out and very carefully tried to make it look like there wasn't a 22nd fret there. But that's not where the madness ended, because this is not a 5-way switch. No, my friends. What it is a 4-way switch. It's the Tele mod. So all the way here, it's the neck pickup. Then right here, it's these two in parallel. Then right here, it's this pickup. And then here, it's these two in series. Master volume, master tone. What about this? See, here's what I did. I made it to where when you dial this up, you're bringing this in parallel, which actually thins out the tone. And as if that wasn't enough, yep, it's even a push-pull that would put these two out of phase with each other. And you know what? The entire thing works, you know, and I never finished it. But I'm not happy with it because I want to be able to use this lipstick pickup. And with this current setup, there's no way to do it. But I want all the cool switching options. I started doing this before I found out about these, the freeway switch. So I'm going to pull this thing apart, rewire it, and then we're going to play test it at the end of the entire thing, as we are so fond of doing. And that hat and sweatshirt, they were just way too hot. I got all of the tuners in. They're all sitting here ready to go. They're a little snug, but they're not so snug that we can't move them a touch. And what I'm going to do is take this machine perfect straight edge and start just getting them perfect. All right, if you're wiggling in it and it can't move, then that's about it. Next is putting a little punch there, little marks so we know where to go. These are locking tuners, but they look really, really vintage. So it goes with the entire motif of the guitar. It's time to see just what kind of condition I left this thing in. And I'm a little worried, and I really kind of don't want to do this. I use these freeway switches a lot, and I'm going to use them a lot more. And I don't want to become like, you know, a one-trick pony here. Let's see what I did. This is something I did years ago, and it's just kind of been tucked away. So I don't even remember what it looks like on the inside. Well, the P90 is screwed to the thing. That's standard. And I've got black tape in here to keep it from touching the edge and grounding out on anything. And it looks like I put my ground wire in, which, you know, cool. I guess I've been doing that for a real long time. We got this thing back together, and while it seems complicated when you're looking at the wiring diagram and things like that, looking at what it actually is, it's not so bad. And that's with me modifying things ever so slightly. So let's put this thing back together and see how I did. Well, all right, let's see what we got. Turn up both volume knobs. Bridge pickup, we've got a reading. Lipstick, we got a reading. And in the neck, we got a reading. So that's great. Then, of course, if all those are reading, then everywhere else should. 12.96, that's not a lot for two pickups that are in series. Ooh, 2.04, that's all three of them in parallel. That's the neck and the bridge in series. That's probably going to be our biggest output. And that's the neck and the bridge in parallel, and that's the neck in the middle in series. In reality, I'm not giving anything up by not having the four-way switch. Now, I did decide to get rid of the push-pull. I don't really feel the need to dial in an even weaker tone, but I thought that it was really cool to put like 3 different knobs on this thing because it's just so weird. So I'm really looking forward to putting this thing together and checking it out. And I did have another chicken head up here, and the reason that I pulled it off is because with it on, this already limited whammy bar couldn't do much whamming, so we had to do it. This is totally John McClane saves the day, man. Hans Gruber. Ha! This is a Mighty Mite neck. It came with a plastic nut, so I replaced it with Graphtec nut. Had to kind of clean up the sides a little bit. But man, we should be good now. It's time to put this neck back on the body and see how it turned out. I don't think there's anything left to do but string it up, intonate it, hope that this is good up here, and if it is, then maybe put the string trees on. Maybe I'll need them, maybe I won't. I don't know. All right, let's try this again. All right. If it's in tune, we're in business. Awesome. All right, it's time to go. After I finish putting the last of the screws in here, it's time to go out there and see how it sounds. Ready? Here we go. Okay, well, here we are. And I gotta say, this ridiculously weird guitar, this goofy idea that I had, is actually pretty damn cool. It took me probably a good 15-20 minutes to get used to that crazy neck. I mean, it really is the hardest V I have ever played. Now this Godot made Wilkeson bar right here, this thing is pretty wild because it feels really good, but the travel is extremely limited. Check it out. That's it. This is not very much either. That's it. That's as far as it goes. So now it's time to just kind of run through the sounds. With the 10-way switch, it's pretty cool. And in the beginning, I'm going to put the tone all the way up. Tone only affects the neck and whenever the neck is in the circuit. So we're going to start off with just the bridge humbucker, and I'm going to be doing this with a fairly clean channel. Next will be bridge and lipstick in parallel. Next will be just lipstick. Next will be lipstick and neck in parallel. And next will be just the neck P90. I really dig that P90, especially, you roll off some highs. Now we get into the 5 bonus tones. So going up is going to be the bridge humbucker and the lipstick in series. Next is going to be all 3 of them in parallel. That's got a real kind of nasally sound to it, It's like very good for funk. In fact, let's get a little wah-wah in there and see what happens. Next is going to be these 2 in series. Next will be the same 2 pickups in parallel. And next will be the neck P90 and the lipstick in series. If we go down here to this position where these 2 are in parallel, you can hear how thin that sounds, but since this right here is volume for the lipstick, if I roll it down just a little bit, then these 2 are no longer forced to be in parallel, and it's going to have a huge jump in output. So let's play a little something in this position right here with these 2 in parallel. Let's try it with these 2 in parallel. Now, let's try it with all 3 in parallel. And what the heck, let's try it with these 2 in parallel. Obviously, this P90, it sounds really, really huge. some contrast, let's try the bridge humbucker. Why not throw a little distortion on here and see how that sounds? So first, let's just check out the bridge humbucker and see how it sounds. For some contrast, let's try this neck P90 with some highs rolled off. Of course, it sounds a lot rounder. Yeah, I said rounder. This is what round sounds like. It sounds a lot rounder when you get up onto the higher notes. As opposed to just the standard bridge tone. This guitar sounds great, plays great, looks super weird, which makes me like it even that much more. So maybe this isn't the dumbest Strat idea ever. I don't know, I like it. No matter what time of year you are watching this, I would like to wish you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. So until next time, this has been Eddie Kernan for Rexylab, making the world a better place, one extremely bizarre guitar idea at a time.